Massive day today for the Miami Hurricanes. Top transfer portal quarterback target Cam Ward is visiting the Miami Hurricanes today. Can Mario Cristobal close?
You are Locked On Canes, your daily podcast on the Miami Hurricanes. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Happy Truth Teller Tuesday. I'm Alex Donno, your host. I'm a University of Miami alumnus, longtime South Florida sports radio vet, and contributor to allhurricanes.com. Thank you to the everydayers for making Locked On Canes your first listen. We are available free wherever you get your podcasts. We're free on YouTube, part of the awesome Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Today's episode, Transfer Portal Mania, continues. We are brought to you by LinkedIn. These days, every new potential hire can feel like a high-stakes wager for your small business. That's why LinkedIn Jobs helps you find the right people for your team faster and for free. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/lockedoncollege. Terms and conditions apply. So in Miami's quarterback chase, trying to find Tyler Van Dyke's replacement, things went from 0 to 60 yesterday. So we find out yesterday evening, Hurricanes have 2 visits set, one with each of their top 2 transfer portal quarterback targets, one of which was already on campus visiting when it was reported that these visits were happening, and that was Will Howard. Kansas State transfer Will Howard visited yesterday on Monday. And now Cam Ward, who I believe is Miami's top quarterback target. I call him target 1A, and Will Howard from Kansas State is target 1B. Cam Ward is visiting later today. He's going to be arriving in the afternoon. We're on live here. By the way, we're on live, so smash that like button. Smash that like button. Subscribe to Locked On Canes on YouTube. Make sure you spread the word, share the link, let people know we're talking Miami Hurricanes transfer portal. So in a couple of hours on Tuesday afternoon, Cam Ward, top transfer portal targeted quarterback, is going to be on campus. And that's why we're bringing the Truth Teller back for a Truth Teller Tuesday. And okay, Bruce, we were talking a week ago about transfer portal quarterback options. And last week in general was a really slow week when it came to quarterbacks committing, visiting, coming off the board. Things are escalating very quickly this week. Like we've already had Riley Leonard today committing officially to Notre Dame. Dylan Gabriel pledging to Oregon. So the dominoes are starting to come off the board today. Obviously, Miami still has a lot of work to do, and we'll talk about the significance of Cam Ward visiting. But are you at least happy to know that things are happening? Howard yesterday, Cam Ward visiting today. How you feeling?
I feel good, except I would not say 1A and 1B. Ward is 1, and Howard is 2. He's not. I don't think he's in the same stratosphere right now. He's good, but everybody wants Ward. I'm glad he's going to be here, but here's my thought. I think Miami needs to mortgage whatever they have to do. I don't care. They've got to win the NIL bidding war.
Yes.
This kid is so important to the future of this program. It's a 1-year thing, but they need to win at least 10 games next year. And they will do it with him. I don't know if they're going to do it with the other people. So it's money. Yeah, it's not my money. It's not your money. It's not the listeners' money.
Well, it is their money if they donate to the Canes Connection Collective. It is their money.
I understand. And if that's what's happening, these guys are willing to do that. But they've got to get this kid. Because if not, then we're going to get somebody else. And I don't know what's going to happen. But I believe that if we get him, this will be a 10-win season. He's that good. And, we're still missing. We just lost our young receiver, so we may have to replace him. We need a lockdown corner. But I think that he's the trigger man. He's the key person, and I think Mario knows that. I don't know how much money they have, but they need to beat out probably Florida State, who I believe that's where he's going next, and then Ohio State, when I believe he's going there. So out of us, the 3 teams, the team with the least likely chance to go to the playoffs is Miami.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe Florida State, although they're losing a lot of players.
Yeah.
And Ohio State, who, the kid McCord transferred out knowing he's going to be replaced. But by whom, I don't know. Maybe Will Howard's a better fit up in Ohio State. But I just think we have to do whatever we have to do to get Cam Ward. We have to.
Okay, a couple things that I know about this pursuit of Cam Ward. I don't want anyone to think that his visit that starts later today is the first real contact he's had with Miami. Dialogue has been happening, folks, for a while there. And a couple of things to think about. The significance of Miami getting his first visit, okay? First visit Cam Ward is taking since entering the transfer portal. Like, this is different from high school recruiting in that players in the transfer portal, they don't like to waste as much time, right? They rarely take visits just for the experience, right? Ward has a good idea already that Miami is a possible realistic destination, and he wants to find his next destination as quickly as possible, okay? Now, Bruce, I would imagine and again, Miami had Will Howard on campus yesterday, and, they allowed him to leave without a yes or no, which makes sense because the bigger target is coming to campus the day after. So what do you think about the timeline here? Because obviously the goal, anytime you get the first transfer portal visit, it's like when you go to buy a car. They don't like to let you leave the showroom without making a decision, right? They what can I do to get you in this car today?
Well, I would also say, if I'm Miami, listen, Will Howard had a great visit. We like him a lot, but we'd like to have you in here. So I put a little pressure on the kid in a subtle way, because you don't want to say, well, if you don't sign today, we're not interested. But they better have a package. Look, I can't see this kid not liking the campus, not liking Mario. Even though Jason Taylor's on the other side, he's still a legend. I think that they've got to make an impression on. Is he coming with the family members? Do you know?
I believe so. Yeah, that's usually how this goes. They usually always bring the family.
Right. Now, unless he's got something in his mind, if he's really, really open-minded about it, then he's the kid we have to get. We don't want him leaving this campus. Here's your money. What do you want to do? And let's hope that by tonight, maybe we have an announcement. That would be incredible if we get that announced. And 8 days away from signing day, you don't know who's on the border, a wide receiver, another big-time offensive lineman who may get swayed by this if we get Cam Ward.
Yeah, and people have been saying this in the live chat, and I agree that locking in your transfer quarterback, that's dominoes are going to fall around that, Bruce, right? Because, people are asking, wait, what about transfer wide receivers? Who's Miami trying to get? Believe me, Miami wants to, especially with Colby Young leaving, like you mentioned, Miami is going to try to get a transfer portal receiver and hopefully a big name or a productive guy, but it's a little bit harder to do that before you have your quarterback. And that's one of the reasons why the timeline here from Miami is so important.
Yes.
We talk about this. Mario does things often very slowly and very deliberately, but time is of the essence here, because if you can get your quarterback, whether it's Ward or somebody else, hopefully Ward, if you can get your quarterback locked in by the end of the week, that's going to go a long way with trying to get someone like Ja'Cory Brooks from Alabama. And heck, Ward's college teammate, Josh Kelly, he hasn't, up to this point, hasn't shown a lot of interest in Miami, but if Miami lands Ward, that could change a lot in terms of going out and getting Josh Kelly, who's already got that chemistry with Cam Ward. So once you land your quarterback, it gets a lot easier to land receivers.
Right. This kid he's got 1 year, but we have some receivers coming in. Chance Robinson,
JoJo Trader.
So we have guys that are
and
a lot of the guys we have now are small, because Young was the biggest guy we had. So I think it's critical. And then you got Emory Williams. You're going to have Judd Anderson. I don't know what's going to happen with Ja'Cory Brown.
Right.
Well, no, because I'm guessing if I'm helping him and we get two quarterbacks in the portal, because there's talk of another one maybe.
Dante Moore, maybe working on a visit.
Why would he stay here? I don't care if he lights up the ball game. Why would he stay here?
Yeah.
So, this is a 1 year rental, but it's an incredible opportunity for Miami to really turn that corner and get back where they belong, in the title hunt in the ACC and maybe even a playoff spot. This kid is that good.
Guys, we're only getting started here on this episode of Locked On Canes. Something I want to get to on the other side. I do want to compare the numbers between Cam Ward, who's visiting today, and Will Howard, who visited yesterday. Talk a little bit about the options. Plus, the national media is openly rooting against Miami landing Cam Ward. Like, they are trying to steer him to Ohio State or Florida State. It's just typical Miami stuff. It makes me sick, but this is something we've all had to live with our entire lives. So, you know what you want to do, my friends? You want to keep it locked right here. We are only getting started on this episode of Locked On Canes. Hey, when you're hiring for your small business, you want to have as many top tier candidates as possible to interview. That's why you have to check out LinkedIn Jobs. LinkedIn Jobs has the tools to help you find the right professionals for your team faster and for free. LinkedIn isn't just another job board. LinkedIn has a vast network of more than 1 billion professionals, which makes it the best place to hire. Hiring is easy when you have that many qualified candidates. So easy, in fact, that 86% of small businesses get a qualified candidate within 24 hours. LinkedIn knows that small businesses are wearing so many hats and might not have the time or resources to hire. Thankfully, with LinkedIn, the process is intuitive, quick, and easy. They even just launched a feature that helps you write job descriptions, making the process even easier and quicker. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/lockedoncollege. That's linkedin.com/lockedoncollege to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply. Thank you for making this Transfer Portal Mania episode of Locked On Canes. We are live, by the way. Thank you for making us your first watch and your first listen today.
A lot of comments. Lots of comments.
Oh, so I can't keep up with the comments. There's so many coming in. And we do have a bunch of trolls in the chat today, which is fine, especially our guy, Louis T. I love him. It's tough love. I make fun of him all the time. This dude he's a basement dwelling, hardcore Florida State fan who for some reason watches Locked On Canes every single day. Like, Louis, you have no free time, or you have too much free time. God bless you for tuning in to Locked On Canes every day. We love everybody, whether you're a Florida State fan or a Miami fan or whatever. We appreciate you tuning into the show. All right, let's take it.
I'm hoping that my buddy is watching, Mark Caesar. I texted him the link.
Love Mark.
Because he's getting some dialysis up in New Jersey. But
God bless him.
I hope he's okay. Anyway, so this was supposed to be the day we have Russell Maryland on, but we talked the other day because I talked to Russell. He said yes, but this is right now. This is important to talk about this portal stuff. So one of these days, Russell will come on with us because he's just a legend.
I don't know if you saw, Bruce, what Joel Klatt, college football analyst from Fox Sports, said about Cam Ward in Miami. Because I'm telling you, man. And it's worth noting.
What did he say?
So Fox Sports, of course, they do have a business relationship with the Big Ten. So I'm sure the Fox Sports people, they would love to see Ward at Ohio State, not at Miami, okay? So Joel Klatt was talking about Ward's options. And again, folks, I'm not guaranteeing you that Cam Ward lands in Miami. I'm not doing that. But to have the first visit is significant. Legitimate interest on both sides. Ward is giving Miami an opportunity to blow the visit away and to hit it out of the park today. So Miami is a realistic option. Because I've had some people commenting the last few days, like, Donno, your program is irrelevant. Why would you think Cam Ward would even consider Miami? He's considering Miami.
He is here. He's going to be here in a few hours.
Yeah.
That's your opinion, but he's considering it. Why would he be here if he's not?
So here's what Joel Klatt from Fox Sports said about Ward. If he goes to the right place and makes the right decision, Cam Ward is going to be in the Heisman Trophy race. There's no doubt. There's some places that I don't think that's the case. For instance, and this is not a knock, he says, but if he goes to Miami, I don't see him being in the Heisman race. I don't see Miami having the type of team season that it would require for him to go and do that. So
really,
he is basically openly pushing for him to go to Ohio State.
How many losses at LSU for Jaden Daniels? So the last time I checked,
4 losses.
Won the Heisman Trophy.
Yeah.
And what's wrong with Miami? Their defense is going to be good. We're young. We have an offensive line. Our backfield is loaded. We're going to have some good receivers. A few of them young, but if this kid comes in here, what's wrong with him?
Yeah.
You say it's a Big Ten bias. It probably is. And
is. Yeah.
I don't know if it's as much anti-Miami as it is pro Big Ten for Joel Klatt and the network.
Yeah. So
I ignore that trap. You know what? We can get this guy today. And if we don't, then what?
Then we probably turn up the heat to get an answer from Will Howard.
Right.
Right. I mean, you have to go back. Right. And by the way, just so people know, both Howard and Ward, they knew that the other guy was going to be visiting. So it's not like Miami didn't keep this a secret. Gabby Urrutia mentioned this at Inside the U. Will Howard on campus yesterday, he was fully aware. Miami told him, hey, we've got Cam Ward coming tomorrow, just so you know. Ward knew before he arrives in Miami today that Will Howard is on Miami's campus yesterday. So Miami is operating with full transparency.
I bet that they told this kid, please do us a favor and give us a couple of days and see what happens.
Yeah,
Ward is
right.
our guy, but we would love to have you here if he doesn't want to come here. So I don't know where he's going now, Will Howard, the next couple of days or today even, but I think he's going to wait and listen to Miami. I think that's what he's going to do. Because I don't know who's next on your pecking order if those guys go through.
After that, there's a couple guys I like. Daquan Finn from Toledo, I really like. Obviously doesn't come from as big of a program. It would be a step up into the
Kevin Beard knows him very well.
That's right. That's
because
a great
Kevin
point.
He was the receivers coach for Toledo last year. So Kevin has a lot of insight on him.
And I like Jordan McLeod from James Madison. So again, these are some smaller school guys. And then it's like the Dante Moore thing. That's like a different conversation, Bruce, because I don't see him as being the short-term answer. I see him as being a long-term guy, because what I saw from him at UCLA, I watched him in high school, and then I watched him at UCLA. Tremendous high school player just 2 seasons ago. I just don't think he's ready even next year to be the type of guy who's going to help you win 10 games. Like he's a guy you try to develop, right? So if you were to bring in Dante Moore, you need to bring in someone else.
I don't know, Alex, he knows that.
Yes.
He's trying to line himself up for the future. So if Miami gets a short-term guy, I think he would come here. Listen, we were recruiting him heavily out of high school.
Yeah, that's right. So, okay, but what do you think for what Joel Klatt said? Basically, he's screaming at Ward, don't go to Miami. You're going to waste the final year of eligibility. That's basically what he's saying, that he would be making the wrong decision going to Miami. If you were to get a quarterback like that, Bruce, how far away do you think Miami is? Because and again, it's not the same exact supporting cast, right? You're losing Javion Cohen. Unfortunately, you're losing Matt Lee. He announced over the weekend he's going pro. However, I can tell you, Alex Mirabal is bullish on the guys that he's got coming up in the offensive line. I think he probably will have to find a transfer center. But as far as the guards and tackles,
I think McCoy could step in, and we have Okanole who could step in. So I'm not worried about that's probably the least concern, the offensive line. What an improvement they had, and it'll happen again this year. You'll see.
Yeah, and I'm not concerned about the running back room. I mean, I had somebody in my comments like, oh, you're running back. You just lost Don Chaney from your good for him. Don Chaney, go be great, but you still got Mark Fletcher. You've still got AJ Allen. Henry Parrish may be coming back. Trevante Citizen, if he's ever healthy again,
he's going to play. He's going to play a lot in the spring. Because they need him to get caught up. He missed 2 years already, this kid.
Yeah, that's right. But I'm not worried about the running back room. I think there's definitely some questions at receiver, Bruce. Again, I think Miami would like to get a upperclassman to replace Colby Young, but you talked about it earlier. There's a lot of top young players in the pipeline because Ray Joseph and Robbie Washington are going to be bigger factors this coming season. Jacoby George, he's going to be back, and he had a tremendous year. I think Xavier Restrepo is going to be back. I know some people are like, well, will he follow Tyler Van Dyke? It's like, okay, I don't think they're that close. Like that he.
What about Smith? Is he staying? What about Smith? I haven't heard anything about him leaving.
No, I haven't either. No, I haven't heard anything about Rashard Smith
mostly
leaving.
Small guys, and they need a bigger target.
Well, Isaiah Horton at 6'4", I think he's got some potential. He made some good catches this year. And then listen, folks, one thing you have to consider, and again, I'm not saying Miami is the favorite to flip this guy, but I do know that Jeremiah Smith, he is watching what next year's quarterback is going to be. Who is next year's quarterback going to be, not only for Ohio State, for Miami, and for Florida State, okay? And Jeremiah, I know that he's going to be a true freshman next year, but this guy's going to play and dominate as a true freshman wherever he goes, okay? So he is looking at the quarterback situation for next year at any of these teams, including Ohio State, where he's committed.
Sorry to interrupt, Alex, but that's why I say he would probably go to Ohio State if Ward goes there.
Right.
So we got to get this kid. He's the domino effect for so many things, and not just for us, for other teams too. We can't let Florida State get him. And we should. I mean, Ohio State's another story. We don't play them. But if you want a shot at Smith now, I think we have to get this kid. Now, what about his quarterback in college, in high school? The kid that's committed to NC State.
Oh, CJ Bailey? Yeah. So Bailey, a couple days ago, he did on X, on social media, he reaffirmed his NC State commitment. He says he's locked in. So but again, until he actually puts pen to paper, you don't know. But it does seem like Bailey kind of put some of the doubts aside as to whether he's going to follow through with NC State. He's more locked in today than he was a few days ago. So we may not be able to get Bailey. And again, Bruce, it comes down to NC State had been showing Cedric Bailey love for, a couple of years. Miami only got into it later for him. So his loyalty maybe would be
he's probably
why.
going to go there, but that's whose fault is that? Why were we on? Although the kid had probably got so much better this year.
Yes, exactly.
So in the past, why would you offer him like that?
Right.
They took a flyer on him, and I guess they're going to win.
Yeah,
it's okay. We kind of wanted him late in the season, but it doesn't mean he's that good. Look at the talent he had. Oh my God, you throw the ball up in the air, and so we'll see. But I think if we get Ward, everything else is going to fall into place. We might not get everybody we want. And there's still the jury out on Lyle. We don't know if he's coming or not. But if he doesn't come, it's not going to really impact our team. We got Riley. So, there's loaded in the backfield.
Yeah. By the way, I see the Florida State fan, Louis. He's all freaked out about Armando Blunt possibly flipping back to Miami.
Yeah,
I got my spatula today, Louis. Haven't forgotten about you. I got my spatula. I know Mario has his spatula. And I've got one of my listeners, Nick Acosta, great dude. He's sending me an orange and green Miami Hurricane spatula. So I'm going to need that in time for National Signing Day. I'm going to have my orange and green Miami Hurricane spatula on the ready. All right, I do want to compare Cam Ward with Will Howard, Miami's top 2 quarterback options. When we come back, Alex Donno and the truth teller, Bruce Warner, with you. Folks, transfer portal season is crazy. And guys, that's why I try to go live every single day during transfer portal season, because so much can change, right? If I start doing a recording 10 minutes into it, the whole script could be flipped on its head. And I always tell you this, if you're in the live chat right now at 11:51 a.m. here on Tuesday, if you're in the live chat, if you see something, say something, because if there is breaking news, you guys might see it before Bruce and I do. That's one of the reasons why going live is so much fun on these days. And we're not done yet, man. We are not done yet. You want to keep it locked right here to this special transfer portal live edition of Locked On Canes. And you want to keep it locked to FanDuel. Bowl season, NFL playoff picture getting hot. And as that weather gets colder out there, the NFL offers stay hot on FanDuel. Right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 money line bet. That's $150 if your team wins. If you've been thinking about joining FanDuel, there's no better time to get in on the action. Guys, the app is so easy to use. There's a wide range of betting options, including spreads, player props, over-unders, and so much more. Now, yesterday, notwithstanding, I have made a lot of money this year on the Miami Dolphins. They had an epic collapse and a meltdown last night against the Tennessee Titans. But overall, I've done pretty well on Tyreek Hill player props. I've done pretty well on Miami Dolphins money lines and covering spreads. I don't know what the heck happened yesterday, but I still have a lot of fun wagering on my teams at FanDuel. So visit FanDuel.com/lockedon and kick off the NFL season. FanDuel, official partner of the National Football League. Thank you so much for making Locked On Canes your first listen today. And guys, make sure you're tuning in to Locked On Sports today. So our network recently launched the first ever 24/7 streaming sports YouTube channel. They do not sleep at Locked On Sports today. So if you haven't checked it out, they cover all the big stories. No, especially not. I mean, I try to be more and more like Mario Cristobal. He doesn't sleep. He's hopped up on Cuban coffee all day. I try to do the exact same thing. So check out Locked On Sports today, because there is always, literally 24 hours a day, a live conversation happening on that channel. So check it out, Locked On Sports today on YouTube. We are with the truth teller, Bruce Warner. Now, Bruce, you expressed some reservations about Will Howard, and you're certainly not the only one.
USC, by the way.
You think so? Which would be great for us, because I think USC is a big competitor for Cam Ward, right? So,
I think he's going to go to I think USC realizes it's between Ohio State, Florida State, and us, and I think they're going to make their offer. I think that's where he's going.
Okay.
That's just my opinion. Somebody else said it here on the comment. And I think that's where he's going. That's why I asked you, who's your third guy? And we better be locked in with some of these people. But it sounds to me like they should get the Toledo kid, because of his connection with
Coach Beard.
Yeah, with Kevin. I call him Kevin. I know him. So that would be good. I think he's a 1 year, he would be good. I don't know how many years he's got left, but Yeah, and I think Jacory's going to leave no matter what he does. If he has a bad bowl game, we're not keeping him. If he has a great bowl game, there's going to be some sort of a bidding war for him. So I think he's gone. I just do, And
I mean, I'd like to see him just go crazy, play well in the bowl game, and then give us a problem in that, a good problem. Like, hey, maybe he wants to save, maybe he's doing really well. So hopefully he plays with a chip on his shoulder, because I'm a big fan of Ja'Carri Brown. But here's Bruce, what Will Howard did this past year. He completed 61.3% of his passage, which isn't that great. 2,643 yards, 24 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. He did run for 351 yards and 9 touchdowns. That's, he's a good running option, especially in the red zone and in short yardage. Now, the concerns people have over Howard are he's somewhat turnover prone. He's got 25 career interceptions. Like his turnover rate is actually very, very comparable to Tyler Van Dyke. So it's one of those things where a lot of people wonder how much of an upgrade would he actually be over TVD. I think his floor is higher and his ceiling is probably lower than Van Dyke. I don't think he's going to give you the sort of catastrophic performances that Van Dyke sometimes does, but he also may not give you like the occasional 500-yard passing performance and 5 touchdowns the TVD has done. So I think he's a little bit more steady. And he offers the running threat that Tyler Van Dyke doesn't offer as much of. But there's no question to me, Will Howard would not be as much of an upgrade over Tyler Van Dyke as Cam Ward would be. It's different conversation.
That's what I said. It's a 1 and a 2. It's not a 1A and a 1B. But the kid from Toledo, that kid is more what we want. He can move. Yeah. He can throw. I don't think he's going to have these mental problems that we saw at TVD. He just looked like he was not a leader for this team. So I wouldn't mind him at all. I don't know how many years he's got left, but we still have Emory Williams and we got Judd Anderson. We're going to get the Nichols kid the year after next.
He's great.
He's supposed to be great.
Yeah.
So you know what? We may not need Dante Moore. I think we need to figure out who's next. And I think Mario and staff has done that. They're throwing in all the chips today. And if they don't come out with Cam Ward, they should go right to the next guy. And I think it could be the Finn guy. I agree with you.
And if Miami can land Cam Ward, I can't wait to see the meltdown, right? We're going to have our guy Louis T. He's going to disappear for months at a time.
He'll ride a bicycle right off the cliff.
The national media is going to be like, why would he want to go there? Like they're going to talk about Miami as if Miami is Division II in Siberia or something. Like, why would he want to go there?
Who cares? It's always been us against the world. You know that. It's always been. So fine, let them do it again. Yeah. I don't care. I don't care. Ohio State's, they're pissed off about Justin Scott, and Florida's upset about the guy we just got from them. Yeah. So everybody's upset with Miami, but the bottom line is, who cares? It's all about the U.
Yeah. And by the way, people are reacting the same way too. Nebraska is about to flip the top quarterback, Dylan Raiola, who, by the way, I mean, he's got multiple ties to his father played there, and his father is the O-line coach now at Nebraska. So I'm sure there's some tampering at the dinner table going on at night there. But Dylan Raiola is looking like he's about to flip from Georgia to Nebraska. People are freaking out. Why would he want? And Miami is in better shape than Nebraska.
Right. Yeah. That whole thing is a mess for the last 20 years. I think they've been a mess.
That's right.
I think that today is just Cam Ward Day. Everything else that's going on is under the surface, because Cam Ward is the news for today. If he walks out of here and he goes to Florida State and then Ohio State, I don't know. I think Miami has to wow this kid today and come away with I'm coming. That's what I think has to happen. We're not talking recruiting, are we? Because you know more about the recruits than I do.
No, we're done for the day. And by the way, I misspoke. The Raiola who coaches at Nebraska, somebody pointed out here, it's his uncle. Raiola's uncle is the offensive line coach. So I guess it's not tampering every night at the dinner table. It's only family reunions is when those conversations happen with his uncle. But no, Bruce Warner, huge thank you and shout out. And again, guys. Cam Ward is on Miami's campus later today. Miami's got to knock this visit out of the park. It is his first transfer portal visit. And Bruce, also significant, his only confirmed transfer portal visit.
That's a biggie too. Right? I wonder if this is his first choice. You know what? I'm just bringing this up.
Yeah.
If we get Cam Ward today, I don't care if it's 2:00 in the morning. You call me up and we'll do a quick show. I'll do it with you.
Yeah. Unless
that would be the news of the year.
That would be the news of the year. And going live, we would have that. We'd be the first to it. I would love that. So, yeah, again, his first transfer portal visit, the only confirmed visit, because any other talked about visits, Florida State, Ohio State, USC, those are only plans that are being worked on. The only visit finalized, Miami visit, which is happening today. So thank you guys so much for making Locked On Canes your first listen. And by the way, I cannot literally do a 24-hour-a-day live stream the way Locked On Sports Today does. So check them out. And also, if you want to keep the conversation going, guys, when Ward updates come in, I will be talking about it on our Locked On Canes Insiders chat. You can try it free for 14 days. Click the link in the show description below to become a Locked On Canes Insider. I send you guys text messages directly from my phone to yours. You could write to me. We do one-on-ones on there, breaking news, recruiting scoops. If I hear anything and see anything about Cam Ward's visit today, I might just go camp out at the university later today and see what's going on there. I will pass it along to you guys on the Locked On Canes Insiders chat. So try it free for 14 days. Then if you like it, you can give yourself a Christmas gift. Opt in for $4.99 a month. We give you a lot of added value on there. Bruce Warner, thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy your Cam Ward watch.
Yeah, you too. Go Canes.
Yes. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. We'll talk to you next time on another episode of Locked On Canes, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.